What's up, guys, and welcome to this new channel, Football and Stuff. Today, I'm going to kick things off with a bang and talk about the best managers in history. I'm going to tell you guys what my opinion on it is, and then I'm going to do 3 videos kind of explaining why certain managers are above others, kind of like what criteria I used and stuff like that. But start off by just getting it out of the way. Number 1 is Pep Guardiola. Number 2, Alex Ferguson. 3, Mourinho. 4, Ancelotti. 5, Wenger. 6, Luis Enrique. 7, Del Bosque. 8, Mancini. 9, Diego Simeone. 10, Zidane. 11, Klopp. And 12, Pellegrini. So, some big managers in there. There's a couple that I didn't really look at that are like older managers. Scolari, even though he won the World Cup with Brazil, he had a really good managerial career in Brazil, but he didn't really do a whole lot in Europe, so that's kind of one manager I didn't really look at. But yeah, so those are 12. That's how I've got him ranked. So now in this first video, I'm just going to be talking about Pep Guardiola and Alex Ferguson. We're going to talk about the top 2. Next video, we're going to do Mourinho, Ancelotti, and Wenger. And then I'll do a video kind of just the best of the rest, going through their key accomplishments and why I think they rank how they do. But let's just get into it. So, before recording this, I would have potentially put Ferguson at higher than Pep Guardiola, just for longevity above anything else. After this video, I've got Pep top. We'll get to that later. We'll start with Alex Ferguson. So at Manchester United, he was there for 27 years. Outside of him, they've had 100 seasons as like a top club, like as their modern like structure. So basically, for all of these managers, I'm looking at clubs that they managed at least 100 games for, and then when I'm looking at their seasons, like their average, their total seasons, I'm looking at like essentially when the league first began. So like for Manchester United, I've got their first season is 89-90. I don't even remember what it looked like before that, but like I know like in Spain, for example, like the first 4 leagues or whatever was like 2 teams playing each other, or there was like 4 teams in the league. In Portugal, you had like 2 seasons that were split in half, and it was like 10 games and 14 games. None of those I really counted. Just whatever looked closest to like the modern structure of the league consistently is what I based like their first league season off of. So 100 seasons without him, 27 with him. Without Alex Ferguson, major trophies, meaning they have 20. With him, they have 24. So he has won 54.5% of their trophies as a club. Now it's just major trophies. So league, cup, that's FA Cup and Carabao Cup, or the Football League Cup, and then Champions League and Europa League. So just the big tournaments, not including Super Leagues or Club World Cups or now defunct tournaments. So 54.5% of their entire club's trophy haul is in the 27 years that Alex Ferguson was there. It's insane. Now, if you look outside of Manchester United, he had a couple of smaller jobs, but again, we're talking 100 plus games managed. So Aberdeen is his other club. He spent 9 years there, more than I would have thought. Like I imagine him spending like 5 years. Like when I think about his other managerial jobs, they have a history of 101 years outside of him. They have won 1 league, 3 cups, and 5 league cups for 9 league titles. With him, 3 leagues, 4 cups, 1 league cup, 8 titles. So 47% of their trophies, major trophies. So Alex Ferguson has the majority of Man United's trophies and almost half of Aberdeen's trophies. Crazy how successful he was there. He also, worth mentioning, he won 1 of St. Mirren's 3 league titles that they ever got. But now let's get into Pep. Now Pep managed at 3 established clubs, but his first one was Barcelona, one of the best clubs in history. His second was Bayern Munich, one of the best German clubs in history. The third job at Man City, I'd say, is potentially the most impressive. City are in a similar place to United in their history. Worth noting as well, when I say where their average league position, I'm looking at like if they finish in the second division. So like say Man United finished 4th in the second division, I'm just counting that as them finishing 24th. So just add 20 to that. So like we're looking at their entire league history. So like Manchester City spent a decent amount of time in the second division. They've actually won the most titles in that league, which is interesting. But 13.84 is their average league position. Under Pep, 1.43. He's won 5 leagues in 7 seasons, as well as 2 FA Cups, 4 League Cups, and a Champions League. He has won 48% of Manchester City's major trophies. So despite only being there 7 years, he's almost at half. More than likely, at the end of the season, he'll have won the majority of their major trophies in the club's history. And like Man United, over 100 years of league football for them. So that's why I think that's the big thing. He's doing it for a while. He's been there 7 years, and he's already, transforming Manchester City. Like they did start to get better a little bit before him, but like Mancini finished 2.75 on average, Pellegrini 2.33. Pep is winning the league pretty much every year, whereas these guys did only manage 1 league title each in three seasons and 4 seasons. So Manchester City weren't like the best of the best before him, and now they are. Now as for Barcelona, Pep won 14 of 19 available trophies. So if you're including the smaller ones, the Super Cups, the Club World Cup, 14 out of 19. Just like, you can't really argue with that. Barcelona, 2.75 throughout their history in the league, 1.25 under him. He won 3 league titles in 4 years. So, Barcelona on average finished between 2nd and 3rd across their whole history. Real Madrid in a similar place. Like, these clubs don't win the league every year across their history, and he won 3 out of 4 there, as well as 2 Champions Leagues and 2 Copa del Reys. He was a Copa del Rey final against Jose Mourinho's Real Madrid, Di Maria to Ronaldo. I remember that final. If Barcelona had won that game, he would have had 2 trebles there. He's got 2 already, which is insane, but he would have had 3. He was this close to it. But 1.75 major trophies a year, a lot better than Ferguson's 0.89. I didn't mention that, but you would have seen it. He only won 12% of Barcelona's trophies, but that's still a really high number, considering he spent 4 years there. And then he also is the only manager ever, with the only team, to get the sextuple. So 6 trophies in a calendar year. It's technically, you win the league, win the cup, win the Champions League, and then the next season, the start of it, is when you play these. But yeah, 6 trophies. The only other manager on this list, I believe, that got close was Mourinho with 5 at Inter Milan. I think he missed out on like a Super Cup or something. But yeah, Pep's stats at Barcelona are just insane. At Bayern Munich, he was a little more average. He did win the league all 3 seasons he was there, but Bayern Munich in recent years have done that. But still, 1.67 major trophies a year. It's about double what the club averages across their history. He won almost 9% of their major trophies, which is still crazy. Didn't do it in the Champions League there, but, he did win the Champions League at 2 other clubs. I believe the only other manager here to do that is Ancelotti. But yeah, so his time at Bayern Munich was like okay, but still, nothing to be frowned at. He did about as good as I would expect him to do. He was losing the Champions League to clubs like prime Real Madrid at the time. Yeah, so for me, it's Pep, and then I've got this just kind of compiled at the end here. So in light green, obviously, is Pep, and the darker green is Alex Ferguson. So this is their main clubs that they spent time at here. And you can really just see the difference when you're totaling up these. Pep's average league position across his career has been 1.29 to Ferguson's 2.75. Big difference there. So yeah, 14 seasons for Pep, and he's got 24 trophies, 36 for Alex Ferguson. He's got 32. That's 1.71 trophies a year for Pep, almost double Alex Ferguson's 0.89. You just can't argue with that. And the fact that he's done it with City in the same way that Ferguson did with United, even though he's only been there 7 years, like he still made Manchester City the same way Ferguson made Manchester United. And the last thing I want to look at here is, and you'll see the other managers here. This is a little sneak peek if you're still watching. This weighted trophies. So I don't have the weightings here, but like the World Cup is worth 7 points. The league is worth 1. The Champions League is worth 3, etc. It's kind of like assigning a rank or like, you get the idea. So Ferguson's weighted score 39, Pep 32.2. Next highest is Ancelotti with 24.1. And the fact that Pep has only been managing for 7 years, not 7, 14 across all his clubs, is insane. About half the time that Ferguson has. So if he continues at this rate, he'll end up with 64. Well ahead of Ferguson's 39. And it's all right there. That's what he's won at these clubs. 4 Club World Cups, very impressive. 11 league titles, only 5 more to go to get to Ferguson, which I'm sure he'll do. 4 less cups, he'll definitely hit that. 5 less Super Cups, doesn't really matter, but I'm sure he'll hit that. He's already got more Champions Leagues. So yeah, for me, it's Pep Guardiola. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next video.